Yes, we've made it to my top 50. If you thought that moving around too much was gonna change when I got higher and higher and more excited about games, you're probably wrong. Maybe sitting on a stool will help me stay still. Whoa. No. Thank you for joining me on my journey to my favorite games. Let's get to it. My number 50 is Dead of Winter. This is a game where you're trying to survive as a colony. Everybody has their own secret objective, and you're trying to also complete the main objective to win the game. There could also be a betrayer among you who's trying to tank the morale, and it's always tense and very stressful as you're trying to move from place to place. The long night adds tons of awesome stuff to the game, like being able to upgrade, and then you have the Raxon facility and all sorts of crazy new zombies. So my number 50 is Dead of Winter. I love games that are sandboxy and kind of let you do your own thing. My number 49 is Merchants and Marauders. This is a game where you get to be a pirate or a merchant and you're going around trying to pick up goods and deliver goods, or you can try to go around doing different quests and different things like that, or you can try to be a pirate and go take out the other ships. There's also NPC ships going around that they might be at war with you, and you have your different captains and stuff. A very thematic pirate game, and that's why my number 49 is Merchants and Marauders. My number 48 is Above and Below. This is an awesome game by Ryan Lockett where there's a book that you can go through when you go underground and you have all these different encounters. I love games with lots of narrative, but it also has the cool little Euro side of moving things around, trying to get the correct resources and buy different people and different cards. It's a lot of fun, a blending of narrative storytelling in a Euro game, which I really enjoy, and so that's why my number 48 is Above and Below. My next game is another game with a betrayer. My number 47 is Betrayal at House on the Hill. This is a game where you're exploring a haunted house, trying to spread out, and then a haunt happens, and one player becomes the traitor, and the rest of the players are trying to figure out things. There's 50 different stories in the base box, and then you get another 50 with the expansions. It's all sorts of crazy stuff. The game can be very swingy, but I love the stories it tells and the whole narrative of the whole game when you're playing it out. So that's why my number 47 is Betrayal at House on the Hill. My number 46 is Mice and Mystics. This is a dungeon crawl with these cute little mice, but has tons of narrative. It's a storytelling game as you're going through the story, going through different dungeons and different aspects of the game, working together cooperatively through this Mice and Mystics narrative. It's an awesome game and a game that I can't wait for my kids to get old enough to play with me. So that's why my number 46 is Mice and Mystics. My number 45 is Tiny Epic Galaxies. I love how it feels like a full game in a tiny little box. You're going around trying to colonize planets and upgrade your galaxy and be the first one to enough points to win the game, trying to compete over which planets you can get, trying to outrace opponents to be able to colonize them first. It's a lot of fun in this cute little package, and that's Tiny Epic Galaxies, my number 45. My number 44 is Drakon. This is a tile laying game where you're trying to escape Drakon's lair. Drakon's trapped you in the lair and says the first adventurer to get 10 gold, she'll let go, and all the rest of the adventurers are gonna get eaten. So you're trying to lay out the different tiles to trigger different abilities. On your turn, you can either move or you can lay down a tile, and you're trying to trigger and make a little engine so that way you can get more gold, and there's a lot of take that in this game. Very silly, but light, fun filler tile placement game, and that's why my number 44 is Drakon. My number 43 is an amazing dexterity game, and that is Rhino Hero. This is a game by Haba. They normally make a lot of kids games, but this game is also fun for adults. It's a game where you're trying to build a building, stacking up tiles, and try to not be the one that knocks it over. The cards you play are different levels of the tiles, and it's kind of like Uno-like mechanics where you can skip people or reverse people and make people draw extra cards, but you're doing that in a way to try to build up this tower. I've had experiences with this where my family, we built all the walls in the tower and we were trying to beat each other, but we made it so that we ran out of walls and had this epic like 15-story tower without it falling down. I've had tons of like crazy moments playing this game, and it's a lot of fun with my game group, my family, and my kids. So that's why my number 43 is Rhino Hero. My number 42 takes 4X and puts it in a tiny package, and that's Tiny Epic Kingdoms. I love that there's tons of different factions and races that you can be. I love fantasy, and it's cool to see all these different like like centaurs and ints and elves and dwarves. You have all the basics, but then tons of other things that they've added into this game. It's a lot of fun doing the follow action and being able to move your guys around, trying to build up your tiny little civilization. And it also has the combat like in Dune and Scythe, which I like that bidding combat where you're trying to bid your resources and being the one that wins. So that's why my number 42 is Tiny Epic Kingdoms. My number 41 is Junk Art. This is another great dexterity game where you're stacking different blocks up. There's tons of different modes and it's got nice, big, chunky wooden things. It's a great game from Pretzel Games and there's like 12 different ways you can play this game. I've had a ton of fun playing this with my game group. There's one mode where you're passing cards to the other players and they have to build stuff, but then you rotate the tower that you're building on. And everyone hates me in this game because I always build these rickety haphazard towers that I trade away and I hope that somebody knocks it over before it gets back to me. There's all sorts of different modes where you can play cooperatively, where you're trying to build real fast and all sorts of different things. So that's why my number 41 is Junk Art. It's a lot of fun. Well, we've done it. We've made it through 10 more games. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey as we're going through my top 100 games. I love to read all of your comments and all the exciting things you're saying, and I'll try not to make too much fun of them. I definitely get excited about gaming, and I have a passion for playing board games, and I just want to share that passion and excitement with you, so hopefully you can play games with your friends and family. I'll see you guys next time. Must stand completely still for the people. Hey, this is Roy Cannaday from Epic Gaming Night.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.